Bear Clooney here at Joseph Anthony Jewelry Store, again with Anthony himself. And here in front of Bear Clooney is best watch of the Baselworld 2018 according to the Bear Clooney's video. So, Anthony, what do you think about this watch? What is this watch all about?
Welcome back, Mike.
Thank you.
It's been too long.
It's been almost 2 weeks.
So you're here and looking at the latest 39mm Oyster Perpetual with the new matte white dial. What do you think of that dial, Mike?
I love it. It's so textured, it's very rich, it's not simple, it has a depth. I really like it.
It is a beauty. It's not a white like on the Date Just collection.
Yeah,
The description is right, matte white.
Matte white, but there is a bit of a texture when you get really close to it.
Absolutely. You'll see the finish. If you get close, maybe you'll be able to get closer.
Yeah, I'm going to do the close-up, yeah.
Yes. So no corners cut with the Oyster Perpetual. You have Rolex's in-house caliber still in here with a 48-hour power reserve. You're not getting anything short here with the screw-down crown still. See that here? Mm-hmm. Okay. And you also have that beautiful Oyster clasp still with that beautiful hinge on it when you open it. 39mm size like we were discussing. It's a new Baselworld introduction. Right. And you've seen it first here with Mike.
Thank you. Yeah, that's true.
Bear Clooney.
Bear Clooney, exactly. Bear Clooney brings to the world close-up and a review of the OP39 white dial from Baselworld 2018. I think I'm going to get this watch. What do you think?
I think you should.
All right, let's put it on. The comment I would like to make, this is ideal entry-level Rolex watch for someone who wants to not take any risks, get an awesome watch, and join the Rolex Club. Do you agree?
100%.
Thank you. And from Joseph Anthony Jewelry Store, Bear Clooney flew directly into the bear's cave, just like a Batman. All kidding aside, I am Bear Clooney, this is Bear's Cave, and we are continuing our search for perfect timepiece. As you could see from the introduction, today we are talking about really interesting, beautiful, entry-level Rolex timepiece. Rolex Oyster Perpetual, white dial, reference number 114300. If you had a chance to see Bear Clooney's video on what watches left biggest impression on him after the Baselworld 2018, you would find out that this little watch was a definite buy for Bear Clooney. Even though it kind of did go unnoticed on the Baselworld 2018. There was not much talk about it, there were not many pictures, but once I find out that Rolex has come out with monochromatic style of the Rolex OP in 39mm, I was sure that it will be to my liking. I always liked the vintage appeal of Rolex watches. There are a couple of things that are not appealing to me. Their small size and my lack of knowledge and experience when it comes to vintage watches, which in a way creates a minefield for me to enter that field. So I don't even attempt. My view on this watch was that it certainly represents much more than just entry-level timepiece. Rolex Oyster Perpetual, in its name, carries two significant, remarkable achievements that Rolex as a watch company has achieved. If we just kind of reflect on history and their benchmark achievements, we go back to year 1926. And this is the year when Rolex created what they called at that time waterproof and dust-proof oyster case, which ultimately created a big boom of Rolex sports watches, Rolex professional line. And then in 1931, another significant achievement, and basically creation of the perpetual automatic movement, which is a base for every single automatic watch today. So, taking that into consideration, we are significantly forgetting that this watch is not just entry level, but it has a DNA of two probably most important achievements of Rolex as a watch company. So I think it would be cool to kind of just reflect on that history a little bit and see how it derived from the original Rolex Oyster case to today's 114300 Rolex Oyster Perpetual. Let's take a look. And now we are looking at 1926 creation by Rolex, which was the first waterproof and dustproof wristwatch, marked as a major step forward. Given the name Oyster, this watch featured hermetically sealed case, which provided optimal protection for the movement, and it wasn't just a claim of being waterproof. It was worn by a young English swimmer named Mercedes Glitz when she crossed the English Channel. And now we're looking at 1931 achievement. In 1931, Rolex invented and patented the world's first self-winding mechanism with a perpetual rotor. This ingenious system was a true work of art, and today it's at the heart of every modern automatic watch. Rolex was very proud of their achievements, and this is a vintage ad for their Oyster case. And here we have a marriage of oyster case and perpetual movement, and finally Rolex coming out with Rolex Oyster Perpetual, watch that combines two great achievements. This is an ad in which it's admired that Rolex was worn by English swimmer Mercedes Glitz when she wore it when she swam across the English Channel. And here is that wonderful, historical, legendary perpetual movement. You can see here the transition and how Rolex Oyster Perpetual looks in its rudimentary look. I think this is why I like that clean monochromatic look. And finally, we get to the modern Rolex Oyster Perpetual with new movement caliber 31, 32 in-house, which is superlative chronometer certified with beautiful bracelet, 3-link oyster bracelet in oyster steel, which is 904L stainless steel, beautiful folding oyster clasp, yet holding all the qualities and all the history together. This is the movement 31, 32, and then someone tells me that Rolex doesn't have a beautiful movements. Take a look at that beautiful bidirectional rotor movement with 48 power reserve, with parachrome, anti-magnetic hairspring. Just gorgeous. And here is Clooney's modern Rolex OP. Let's go back to Clooney's cave and talk a little more about this watch. You know, every time I reflect on Rolex's history and their horological achievements, I like to remind those who comment that Rolex is where they are specifically only because of their marketing, that's not the case. Marketing is certainly very important to Rolex company, and they are masters in doing it. But in the same time, their history and horological evolvement played just as important role. And as a watch enthusiast, I cannot ignore that, and I significantly appreciate Rolex's achievements in horology. So this little watch, kinda, in its simplicity, in its under-the-cover appearance, carries those attributes that some might not view as Rolex attributes. I think this watch is just as important as some much more expensive pieces from Rolex line. And with its monochromatic edition, it kind of brings even more, to me personally, of that vintage feel in a new edition. And those are my favorite watches. They carry the great attributes of a technological perfection of a new watch, yet aesthetics of the past. And that is just very, very appealing to me. So I suggest we jump into Bear Clooney's watch studio and take a closer look of this wonderful watch. And here we are at Bear Clooney Watches Studio, starting things slightly different than usual, starting with the wrist presence of this beautiful Rolex Oyster Perpetual 39 in white dial. And this wrist presence is dedicated to my dear friend Tanzil Ansari, who loves my wrist presence videos and even more loves my accent and to imitate my accent. But above all, thank you, Tanzil, for being always so supportive of me and my channel. I also want to send a very warm shout out to a dear friend and supporter of the channel, Hisham, who's always there for me, who spreads a good word about my work and always act as such a supportive friend. Thank you, Hisham. And here we have a little box and a big thank you. Thank you to Joe, the owner and the big boss, the owner of Joseph Anthony Jewelry Store, the best Rolex authorized dealer in the world. By the way, this is such a beautiful wallet, Joe, and I thank you so much. I really love it, but there is a little problem, and you'll see. The problem is that this beautiful wallet, take a look at this, is empty, and that's because Anthony took all my money. Anthony, he made me broke. I have no money to put in this wallet. Never mind, I love it, I enjoy it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all my friends, for continued support on this channel, for continued support in my love for horology. Now, we're going to go back to the star of the show. Yes, to this beautiful Rolex Oyster Perpetual 39mm reference 114300 with a white dial. When it was launched in Baselworld 2015, the Rolex Oyster Perpetual 39mm, reference 114300, was widely greeted as a winner. And no wonder why. It had a winning recipe, combination of simple, clean, perfectly proportioned Rolex watch, manufactured according to the Crown's high standards, with a twist in the form of 4 colored dials, and the best of all, a relatively accessible price, considering it's a Rolex. Although there were no further developments for 3 years, the Oyster Perpetual 39 made a very discreet comeback at Baselworld 2018 with the introduction of 2 new models with black and white dials. And it kind of, the white one almost replaced my long desired Polar Explorer. And I'm not talking about Polar Explorer 2, but actually white dial Explorer 1. Rolex Oyster Perpetual 39 114300 is kind of, if we want to sum it up, a perfect daily watch for those seeking a quality, robust and discreet watch. Diameter and thickness are very reasonable. It feels very comfortable, looks good in every situation, and it's a truly beautiful casual watch. With its time-only display, it has a very clean design. It's a mix of elegant proportions, yet it's sporty. It's not all dress-like, and it is best option for what they call single watch collection. I hate that expression, by the way. There is no such a thing as a single watch collection. There's just a single watch ownership. Um, Neither it's a true sports watch, neither it's a proper dress watch. So it's kind of ambivalent, and that's what makes it so versatile. It provides all the beautiful qualities of the Rolex. Look at that clasp and that beautiful bracelet. Even at an entry level, this watch is just of the highest quality. If we reflect on the 2015, when Rolex relaunched the Oyster Perpetual collection, which kind of always been viewed as an entry-level watch for the brand, it had 4 different sizes. It had 2 ladies versions in 26 millimeter and 31 millimeter. It had what's kind of considered unisex option at 34 millimeter. Not that I would ever wear the 34 millimeter, but we need to acknowledge that is the historical diameter for the Oyster Perpetual watches. And then finally this beautifully balanced 39 millimeter modern version. Now we're looking obviously at the white dial, and that's a Bear Clooney's choice, and I highly recommend this watch. This was my choice from the Baselworld 2018. The dial of this new version is matte and slightly textured, contrary to the other 4 available editions. I love how thin it is. I love this beautiful 2-lock crown. I love the bracelet on it. The white dial contains the usual Rolex aspects. We can see here baton hands filled with a green luminous paint, applied baton indices for the hours, also luminous. We can see the black minute track and 5-minute markers. And even though this is so-called entry-level Rolex, the hands and indices are crafted in 18-karat white gold and made with the exact same attention to detail as 40,000 full gold day date. And that's something I love about Rolex. They don't compromise. The case and the bracelet have not been altered. They stick to the Rolex design. Kind of squarish case with the brushed flat surfaces, polished sides, relatively thin case bands, dome polished bezel, and the watch has, as I mentioned, a beautiful 3-link oyster bracelet with brushed flat surfaces. It has it's not polished center link, and watch is very solid, water resistant, robust yet classy, and perfect also for office use. It's using the caliber 31-32, so Rolex did not update this model with the new 32 series, but nevertheless this movement is well known. It's solid as rock. It features modern parts such as anti-magnetic blue pyrochrome hairspring, superlative chronometer, which means that it's certified by COSC first and then tested and certified a second time internally after casing the movement. And trust me, after wearing it a week, I can tell you it's extremely precise. It's even better than -2 +2 seconds per day. This new white matte dial with monochromatic look makes it a little more elegant in my opinion. And it kind of provides in my heart and my fantasy almost like a substitution for non-existing white dial Explorer 1. Also, I love doing pairing on watches, and it perfectly pairs with my Rolex Explorer 1. The watch itself is 48 power reserve. It has a 4 hertz frequency. It is with a 3-link oyster bracelet in the oyster steel with folding oyster clasp, as you could see it already, brushed flat surfaces, polished on the sides. caliber 31-32, which is obviously in-house, flat sapphire crystal on the dial side, screw down case back, screw down twin lock crown, waterproof of 100 meters, and above all, just so beautiful, so classy, crisp, nicely balanced. I love looking at this watch. The bracelet is truly high quality, like all other modern Rolex watches, and I would really recommend this timepiece for anyone who wants to enter Rolex world. You will not be disappointed. This watch will not be underwhelming, and it will not disappoint, even though, I repeat, it's positioned as to be entry level timepiece. So I'm going to now shut the lights off so we can actually take a look at this beautiful green Lume and how it actually looks on the watch. Here we have the green Lume. I mean, for a watch that I consider to be kind of almost a dress watch, it's not bad. I think it's sufficient. It serves its purpose, and it's not a stronger feature, but it is a decent Lume, and I think it does do its job. Now we're going back to Bear Clooney's cave, and we'll wrap up this video. So after this presentation, I hope that you understand Bear Clooney's choice for Baselworld 2018 a little bit better. Ultimately, I feel that this watch is obviously a little more than just entry-level Rolex timepiece. I think it carries a certain important DNA in itself, exactly from Rolex's past achievements. I also had a chance to compare it to the Baselworld 2018 black version of this OP, and I put them together to kind of take a look. I mean, tell me what you think. I think I still prefer the white dial. So
Yeah.
two new Rolex
bigger,
OPs,
like,
39 millimeter
Yeah,
from
he's
Baselworld
good.
2018, 39 millimeter white dial and black dial. So what do you guys think?
Like a custom leather band.
Which one is more aesthetically appealing? They're both awesome,
Yeah, he's a good guy too.
but I think I prefer Bear Clooney's white dial. I apologize about the noise in the background, but it's a noise made by some of my best friends, so I forgive them. They are the friends from my horology group. We get together on a monthly basis and we truly have a great time. So, hi guys, I hope you're watching my video and thank you for being part of my world. Now at the end, I invite you all to continue search for perfect timepiece with Bear Clooney. I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you didn't already. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click on like and stay with me. Let's have fun together. All the best to all of you from Bear Clooney.